Let me begin with a question for Mr. Dunham. Well, let me just say we will now proceed under the 5-minute rule with questions. I anticipate we'll have 2 rounds of questions today. Mr. Dunham, understanding the FBI's role in censorship on social media is a crucial part of the committee's investigation into the apparent collusion between the federal government and technology and social media companies. On April 18th, 2023, the committee requested documents and information in furtherance of its investigation by the FBI. However, the FBI did not make its first production until June 21st, 2023, over a month after the response to the committee's April 18th, 2023 request was due. The entirety of the first production was the publicly available 386-page deposition transcript of FBI Special Agent Elvis Chan in Missouri v. Biden. Why did it take the department over a month to make this production of one publicly available document?
Mr. Chairman, we're working through the request that we received in April. We've made 4 productions already of 600 pages of documents. We've also been providing transcribed interviews to the committee, which our conversations with staff indicated that was a committee priority. So we had 3 senior executives who came before this committee for day-long transcribed interviews to talk about this very subject. And we have more information in the pipeline that's forthcoming. And I understand the committee's concerns with redactions on the documents. We've had some discussions with committee staff already to address those concerns. I think our most recent production provided more limited redactions. That's my goal, is to provide as limited redactions as possible on our productions to the committee. We are bound by Department of Justice and executive branch policies, which means there are certain areas where we have to be a little more considerate when we're providing information. Those areas could be when we're touching on ongoing investigations or sources and methods or non-SES employees. But my goal is always to provide as much information as possible with limited redactions. And if there's instances where the committee has concerns about those redactions, I'm happy to continue a dialogue so that we can see what the legislative purpose is to see the information underneath, and we can make accommodations. We've done that several times already this year where we've been able to have discussions with the committee and lift redactions, and I'm happy to continue this pattern of accommodation.
Well, and there have been a lot of staff conversations, but the reason that you're here is in part because those staff conversations have not produced the documents that we have asked for. And this is not, when we ask for redacted or documents without redactions, it's not a request, it's part of the subpoena. So the subpoena explicitly instructs the FBI to produce unredacted copies of the documents. So let's look at this document that's entirely redacted, say for the opening and closing remarks. Can you articulate what was the reasoning behind the redaction here?
I can't, as we sit here,
because you can't
determine
the.
I'm not the one that redacts, so I can't as I sit here. I understand the concern. What I can tell you is that we are striving to provide documents as limitedly redacted as possible.
So tell me, why are employees at Twitter and Facebook, many of whom do not have a clearance of any kind, able to receive these communications unredacted, but members of Congress are not?
I just go back to what I said previously, that we're bound by Department of Justice and executive branch policies that dictate how we provide information to Congress, and there are certain areas where we have to be more considerate and provide redactions, but those conversations that we have with staff to talk about these redactions are extremely helpful for us in coming to an accommodation to provide more information, so I appreciate it.
And accommodation with the requests actually helps even more. So earlier this week, committee staff prioritized a list of documents to be produced in unredacted form to the committee by December 8th. You may recall that conversation. It just happened earlier this week. Mr. Dunham, can you commit to producing these documents in unredacted form to the committee by that deadline?
We are working through those requests now. We just got them a couple days ago, and we'll work to provide them as soon as possible.
Are you aware that our subpoena requires the production of a privilege log if the FBI places redactions on certain documents?
I believe I've read that in one of the subpoenas, correct?
All right, when can the committee expect that privilege log?
I don't have a response for you today, but I'll take that back and see what we can provide.
All right, you'd agree that the committee's subpoena compels the production of certain categories of documents, correct?
I believe so.
Documents and communications between or among the FBI and the executive branch, correct?
I believe so.
All right, why have no documents or communications with the White House or other federal agencies been produced?
We're working through the productions. Like I said, we provided 4 productions already, over 600 pages of documents. We did prioritize the transcribed interviews, which we had 3 executives come up to spend the full day with the committee to talk about these issues and,
Okay.
and
Can you
answer your
commit to
questions.
producing documents responsive to this category by December 14th?
I commit that we will provide information as soon as possible.
All right. The ranking member is recognized for 5 minutes.